Hello and welcome to BiteSize Science. My name is Jupna and I'm a staff scientist at the Discovery Center. I'm here today to share a simple experiment that you can try out at home that we like to call swimming scribbles. We're going to get creative and make a magical work of art that comes to life using markers, water, and the power of science. For our experiment, we're first going to need to gather some materials. Some dry erase markers. These would be those markers that you use on a whiteboard. A tray or plate that has a smooth, non-porous surface. Ceramic or glass work well. Just make sure that you have permission to use any plates before you start this experiment. A glass of water. Keep some paper towel or dishcloths nearby. Things can get a little messy and you might need them to clean up some spills. A good scientist isn't afraid of a mess, but they also know to clean up after themselves. Now that you have all your materials ready to go, take a dry erase marker and draw a picture on your plate. You can draw anything you like, simple shapes, complicated patterns, or even write out a word or two. What would you like to do? I think I'm going to draw an astronaut out exploring space. There are some stars and Saturn in the background. That looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Now comes the fun and messy part. Take your glass and gently pour the water over your drawing. Try not to make a big splash. Be as gentle as you can and watch what happens to your picture. Do you notice the ink starting to lift away from the plate? I'm noticing my astronaut moving and dancing in the water. It almost looks like they're floating in space. What happens if you give your plate a shake or a tilt? Not sure what happened to Saturn over there. What's going on here? The answer lies in some of the properties or the chemistry of our dry erase marker. Notice how the ink doesn't dissolve in the water. We say that the ink is insoluble in water. The ink of a dry erase marker is also slippery due to a special ingredient inside it, an oily silicone polymer. And it's this ingredient that keeps the ink from sticking to our plate. We can easily wipe it away. Since the ink isn't stuck to the surface of our plate and is less dense than water, the water seeps underneath our picture and pushes the ink up and off the plate. So the ink floats on top of the water and seems to swim, just like that. You can try out this experiment again with different colored dry erase markers. What do you notice? Are there certain colors that work better than others, or are they all the same? What about permanent markers? Unlike dry erase markers, permanent markers have a different ingredient inside their ink, an acrylic polymer that makes it much easier for the ink to bind or stick to surfaces, so they're much harder to wipe away. Whenever you are done creating your works of art, remember to clean up any spills around you and rinse your plates with warm, soapy water. Well, friends, that's all that I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in for another installment of BiteSize Science. I do hope that you learned something new and that you have fun with some swimming scribbles of your own. This is Jupna from the Discovery Center signing off and reminding you to stay curious.